Hello friends, welcome again. This tutorial is regarding the Lombook. So we will learn today how to use Lombook and what exactly Lombook is. So if you see here my notes, so why we use this one? We use this to avoid the repetitive code. So if you read about this, they will tell you about that we want to avoid the boilerplate code. So boilerplate code means code which is repetitive, which does not have any significance. So if we can avoid it, so Lombok is the way we can avoid uh, some repetitive codes. So how it works? So just by plugging into your build process and auto generating Java bytecode into your .class files. That means compiler when converts the Java to .class files, Lombok generates all the boilerplate code in that .class files. Okay, so we will see uh, practically how it does and where we can see those repetitive codes. So what is the repetitive code here? That is getter, setter, or constructor. These things are toString, hash code, equals. These are the repetitive code which we do in all the Pojo classes, right? So what we need only this dependency in the pom.xml file. So literally you should always drop this into your projects. That will help you to write as much as less code in all the beans. Okay, so what are the annotations we have? We have getter, we have setter, we have non-args constructor, we have toString, we have equals and hash code. These are the common annotations which we have in Lombok. And overall there is a one, that is at data, which includes almost everything. So this many things you will find under the at data. So what getter and setter annotations tell? Lombok to generate these for all the fields of the class. Okay, no args constructor will lead to any empty constructor generation, right? Same way, all args constructor, what it does, it creates the constructor with whatever the fields we have in that Pojo class. And what we have, okay, so getter for all fields and setter is for all non-final fields. So for any kinds of fields we will have getter and setter both, but setter will be for only for and like setter will be for if we have final fields, then we will have only setter, it will not have any getter. Okay, now and appropriate toString, equals and hash code implementation that involve the fields of the class, like this I already mentioned, this one I already mentioned. Okay, so this many things we have here. Okay, and it provides at non null or not null. We will uh, learn about this later. Okay, so now we will see the practically how it works. Okay, so let me create one employee class and one test. Okay, so we will have some private fields. So first we will see what we generally do. Okay, normally how we do, and then I will convert the same class into the Lombook way of writing the class. Okay, so here we will have to generate all the getter setters, then we can generate hash code equals to string, whatever you want you can do it, right? So I have just written here all the getter setter and as well as to string, but you can have hash code equals constructor, whatever you want. Okay, now let's open the this will have the main method. So let's see what it returns. Okay, so now we will convert this into the Lombook way of writing the Pojo class. So now what we can do, we can remove this getter setter and to string. Okay, now what we will do, if you do getter annotation here, so this Lombook getter, Lombook setter, Lombook to string. Okay, now we will see when we write this all the annotation, these are the Lombook annotation. So we will see here what are the things got generated in the dot class file, right? You will see get name, get department, set name, set department, to string, and these are the two fields. So we see all the getter and setters and to string methods are in the class file, right? Okay, now if you do at no args constructor, so you will see here it got generated employee. If you want to do all requires constructor, right, you will see all the fields which is present in this Pojo class constructor will have those details, right? So this is the all args constructor. So now what you do, you just replace everything. Okay, now let's just check the code what it returns. All right, okay, so it returns the same thing, right? Now, so what are the annotations we already learned? If you see getter, no args constructor, all args constructor, to string, right? Now instead of all these annotations, we can write only single annotation, that is at data, right? So let's remove everything from here and put this one, right? So you will see all the getter setter we have, equals we have, hash code we have, to string we have. So we found almost everything here, right? Okay, now one more thing I can show you, what is all args constructor, right? How we can see that one we have. So as soon as we put the all args constructor, that means we have to create one constructor. If you see here, right, we have this constructor, right? So for having this kind of constructor, argument of constructor, we have to pass here, right? Let's suppose we pass admin and then so we have to go by order. So first we will do the name and then department, right, and remove this one, comment out this one. Okay, so now we will see the output of this one, right? Okay, so we learn all the annotations whatever I had mentioned here, and how you can like compare where it gets generated. So it gets generated into the class file. Okay, so we learned how much repetitive code can be removed. You just imagine from one class we have removed how many codes. Let's just compare. Here we have line of code is, if I give you total 6 lines, right? Now if we remove this one, right, and then go with the getter and setter for this, okay. So if you compare now what we can achieve through at data, and if without Lombook annotation, how much boiler code we are writing here, right? Just imagine more than 50 lines we have to write what we can achieve by just putting the annotation at data. So thanks friends for watching my videos. Please let me know if you want to learn any specific topic. Thanks a lot.